Camera 1. Hey, camera 1, you're looking good over there. Hey, camera 2, you're looking good over here. Hey, tonight we're gonna be talking about the most recent MCPON letters. You know, let's get into it. A little 8 days late on this one, but it's not that I'm getting bored with it. It's just, damn, man, like, what are we always talking about? If you want a drink, have a drink, you know. I'm drinking responsible here tonight. I'm not driving anywhere. I ain't even got car seats to put the kids in, so how could I? Right? So let's get into this. We got the screen share up tonight. Yeah, the most recent MCPON letter here from 4 September. Competency. Let's get into this competency here. We're going to try to go through this fast because I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do the surprise drop of the Mission Vision Guiding Principles update, which I think is a little bit more important, you know, in some key aspects, being that that's what we write our evals about, and that we should be grading ourselves on and being held to that standard there. So we're going to get into that. Let me make sure this mic is good. System audio. Let me use that there. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. Competency, the tone of the Navy, the tone of the command, and the tone on the deck plate is set by the chief's mess. Our duty goes well beyond our direct responsibilities. It goes to caring for the entire command and the Navy as a whole. Our actions and how we lead set the tone for how our sailors will experience their service in the Navy. Okay, nothing. Look, I know I've been pretty critical about a lot of these things coming out, but like some of it I really don't have a problem with, right? Like I agree, right? And I think he goes about it backwards, right? The tone of the Navy, the command, and then the deck. I think that is the reverse order of that is how we impact it. The tone of how we are out on the deck plates, how we are in the command, affect the command that way. And if you have better commands, then you have a better Navy, right? So there's like, you know, follow those breadcrumbs. It checks out. Okay. Our duty goes well beyond our direct responsibilities. Sure. Okay. That's part of that in your CPO creed, right? Where it says like it has no file, no number. There's nothing you could reference it to, right? There is, like, if you put up the SORM or whatever, and not that I do it every day, but like it tells you what your job as a LCPO is, as a DIVO, right? Those things are out there to describe what you're supposed to be doing, what your responsibilities are and stuff. But I think what we're trying to connect with here is the bigger picture, the more intimate reality of like, as a chief, like you're supposed to be able to do anything. If I sat there and I was just like, nope, you know what? I'm only supposed to take care of my division in this role. And on Mondays, I click the green X in SCED, right? And I think I was on the wrong camera there, right? Yeah. Sorry. Then that's where I look at it as like, you'd be the E7, right? You wouldn't be the chief. An E7 can look at there and be like, nope, I only do this. I only push the buttons. I only do what my rate requires, and that is only the maintenance, right? But what about all the other things that are just a part of the Navy that isn't in there, right? Do we need to be told that it's our responsibility to write the quarter packages, of the year packages? Are we supposed to be told that it's our responsibility to go pick up that sailor, to help that sailor move out of the barracks, out of the beacon? Do we need to be, if it's not in writing, so we don't do that? You know, so that's where it goes beyond our direct responsibilities. Yes, it does. And as much as I don't like some of that shit sometimes, right? And I've said it, like some of those, sometimes when you're trying to make me go beyond those, it's so far beyond that it's wrong. Sure. But there is a limit of that beyond that we should be going towards, right? That we should be openly and willingly accepting, right? It goes to caring for the entire command and Navy as a whole. And again, like, do I care about the whole Navy? No, I really don't. I care about those around me so I can impact them, and then they can go on and spread it, right? Think globally, act locally. I've said that before, right? It's like a political term, I think, right? So it's like, if you want to make change on a bigger scale, make change first in your community, at your command, in your division, right? If you can reach one, teach one within your division department, they will go and spread that. Okay. At least that's how I think of it. Our actions, where is it? Our actions and how we lead set the tone for how our sailors will experience their service in the Navy. Yes, again, I agree, right? And that's why I think I just said that. Think locally, or think globally, act locally. Reach one, teach one at your division, and they will go forth and be better and do better things and so on and so on. Okay. Paragraph 2. The chief is the prime instructor. Let me get this here. Or excuse me. The chief is the prime instructor for how things get done correctly. They are masters of their rating, and must be technically and tactically proficient. They are accountable for their team's performance and work relentlessly each day to drive improvement. They achieve more by eliminating unproductive chaos in their commands. Cool. They bring order and discipline to day-to-day operations. They are the role model because it is their duty to be so. Okay, so again, it's obviously titled competency, right? So he's really banging again on that technical competency, right? That technical mastery, as we will get into here in the updated MVGPs. Okay. Again, so like, I mean, I don't really find anything too per se wrong with this. Like, there's a lot of people going out through the chief season right now and whatnot, and want to be chiefs or any khaki, right? Any khaki is accountable for their team's performance, right? But us more so because the team is 99, 98% enlisted. So what are we doing to get that team there, right? And if we're giving that up to the Divo, we're losing, and what the fuck are we around for? Straight up, okay? Working relentless each day to drive improvement. Yeah, like every day a little bit better, right? Excuse me. I got to make sure I don't hear a kid. They achieve more by here's the biggest thing, right? They achieve more by eliminating unproductive chaos in their commands, all right? So, I was talking with some people about this, right? And we're talking about it, and this one came up, and it was kind of like, well, how are we going to do that, right? How do we make sure that there's, as they say, white space, meaning the paper has space in between the timelines on the POD? Well, first of all, Chiefs, have your ass at the fucking PB for T. So give your divisional schedule to your department head so they could submit what the fuck needs to happen, right? So it's not just them shotgunning and winging everything by themselves, making up what they want to do. If you're there, you could talk sense into, hey, hold on. Like, is no one noticing that we're packing 20 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag? Yeah, it all needs to be done. But this plan is not going to work. This plan is going to drive sailors crazy. You're the one that should be there talking sense to it. So if you're not at PB for T, where the fuck are you? Let's get that reel going. Hey, if you're not at PB for T, where the fuck are you? That's that where are you if you're not in Mexico kind of shit. And everyone's like, I'm working, bitch. Like, if you ain't at PB for T, where the fuck are you? Okay? So there you go. That's that. You want to get fucking unproductive chaos? Go to PB for T and start cutting shit out and be like, what do we really need to get done this day? And everyone's like, oh, everything always has to get. No, not everything does. There's some priorities. There's the next warfare cert. There's the next warfare drill, right? Lay it out. If you got a great XO and a great ops, then that starts to become a lot easier. Okay. If you don't, then it becomes very hard. Okay. So whoever that fucking ops, fucking DLCPO is, get them on board. All right. Hold that training. Bring them up to speed. What is the most important? We got to focus on that. Everything else is second to that. Okay. Moving on. Just checking, make sure. I thought I saw a kid peeking in here. Moving on forward. 3. Competent chiefs are effective leaders in all their duties. Okay. Like how could you have heartburn over that? No shit. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You should be effective in it. And that is competency, right? Whether it's maintenance or your rating or standing duty or section leader or on the core deck as OOD. You should feel competent in it. And if you don't, then what's the problem? Why don't you get the help? Shore up those incompetent. What's the opposite word of competent? Incompetent, right? Shore up those incompetencies, okay? They're unrivaled in their attention to detail, both for themselves and their people. Yeah, okay, good. And that's not like that attention to detail. One, like it is learned in boot camp by folding your fucking underwear over and over and over. Okay. Second, the attention to detail comes through experience, right? The attention to detail is the years and years of doing it, so you know what not to do or you know how to do it better, right? And sometimes you let your junior sailor just go out there and figure it out for themselves and fail a little bit and learn, right? You teach them how to fish, but then you let them fish, right? And see what works for them. Maybe, like everyone said, maybe they figure out a better way. Maybe they don't. Maybe they figure out the way that you said is actually the best and they start doing it that same way. I don't know. But again, all right, attention to detail for themselves and their people. They set clear accountability and work collaboratively. Yeah? Okay. That's a big one, the collaboratively, because so many people get so focused on their own division, their own department, and it's them against the world, right? Something came up the other day where I was talking to someone and I was like, I've never been anywhere where supply department gets to solely think about only supply department, because everything we're always doing is command impact, right? It's whether there's food, whether there's snacks, whether there's parts. None of it is ours. It's everything we're doing is shared collectively by the command. Your maintenance on a weapon system is only your maintenance on the weapon system. Does the command need it to attack or defend? Yes. Obviously, duh. But the people, the way they think about it in some of those other departments, like, no, that's mine. And I don't give a fuck about anyone else. And that's a problem, right? So if we're going to be more competent, we have to break that down, right? And be able to work collaboratively. And when you're able to work collaboratively, all that fucking unproductive chaos starts to go away, because people aren't saying, I fucking need mine. It's like, what does the command need today? What does the command need this week? And now you're, okay, well, you know what? I don't need to run drills then, because you need that time. So over to you. It's your show. I'll take this. Oh, man, it just kind of work out that. Look at that, man. I ain't even that smart. Excuse me. The emulate and drive, correct standard for job accomplishment. They ensure the standards are consistently applied and consistently communicated. When the standards are not met, they hold personnel accountable. That's the hardest thing to do. Even for myself, right? Even for myself, sometimes the standard's not met, and I'm very different in how I hold accountable, right? I'd like to think that I know my sailors well enough where I know how to hold them accountable, where I don't have to resort to the counseling chits, right? But there's been times where I have had to do that in the past, never as a chief, but in the past, right? But you use all your tools available to you, right? And do it. Like, hold them accountable. It cannot just be conversation after conversation after conversation. But if you have repeat offending fuck ups, put that shit on paper immediately, right? Hold on. They're so funny. You hear like a little scream or something, like a little kid, and then you ask if they're cold. Like, yep, we're all good. Freaking kids, man. They're getting to the age of like snitching on each other too. It's so cute. I love it. All right, when the standards are not met, hold personnel accountable. Chiefs don't live with with problems. They find and fix the root causes, not just the symptoms. That's a great plug for the latest Navy program of Get Real, Get Better, right? I've noticed, I realize I'm doing all this in picture again. I'm just trying to breeze through it. I'm sorry. Not that it's not important. It's just like, I want to get on to the next one too. I don't want to be here for 3 hours wasting your time either. The final, they find and fix root problems, not just the symptoms. Okay. And that's, again, so get real, get better. Ask why until you really get fucking down to it, right? Until you find out the real fucking reason, all right? And then fix that reason. They do not farm out their responsibilities or delegate up. Ooh, that's a good one. Because we always talk about delegating down, but he said delegate up. So do we give away and this is one of those ones where he talked about before, and I criticized it, but where he said where we're giving away our anchors, right? Well, what I criticized was like at the technical spot of it, where you have so many tech reps and everything that we have to call, or that's required to call, or that someone's making us call, and we can't just make the decision for ourselves or work on that piece of equipment. But this, sometimes we give our anchors away by, oh, all right, well Divo's going to handle it. Are you fucking serious? That, like, you get, like, especially if it's something that's in your wheelhouse, that's your job as the chief, right? Divo should be focusing on SWOPIN if they don't got it, tactics, how to fight the ship, how to drive the ship. They should be focusing on that stuff. The occasional administrative, chop, this and that. But the enlisted day-to-day is ours. Why would we ever delegate that away? Why would we ever delegate that up? Right? That's delegated to our LPO of like, hey, I do have something I got to do today. I got an appointment. I expect you to run the shop the way I would run the shop, or the way you run the shop that meets my standards. Easy enough. They elevate barriers only after they have hit a wall. I kind of don't get that. They elevate barriers only after they have hit a wall. I think that's maybe bad in English. I don't know. Somebody help me out. I see you watching. Let me know. What does that mean? They elevate barriers? Like they make barriers known after they hit the wall? Again, like what is there to argue about that? Do everything until you hit that barrier, and then you go for help. Easy enough, man. Like, again, I just don't see where a lot of people are having problems with this one. Again, and I like these letters better than I like the other call to action ones, because I feel this is more direct to us as chiefs, and that these are things that you should be having conversations with your junior sailors about and saying, hey, like, one, with your LPO, because if your LPO is trying to be in khakis, they can start learning now. They should start learning 5 years ago. Okay. Your other junior sailors be like, yo, this is what this MCPON's putting out. What do you think about it? How are you driving towards this right now? Because chief's going to happen, and it could happen real quick. Motherfucking 6-year chiefs out there, 10-year chiefs, right? Stupid, crazy shit. And when they get there, they have no idea what they're doing, but they're really smart. They're great when it comes to that technical mastery. And after that, they don't know shit. They don't even know how to route a fucking shit. All right, chiefs are a combination of doing things right and doing the right things. That one is like, yeah, okay. Like, I don't like, look, I don't like necessarily when we harp on that, because we're all human, right? And we all fuck up. Okay, everybody. Okay, yeah, there's those sailors that are out there that have fucking, gone through and never had a fucking counseling shit. Sure. There's way more that have that and worse. Okay, so when we start pumping that gas into the tank, right? It makes us more susceptible to failing in the eyes of our sailors, right? You cannot put us on a Superman pedestal, because that fall is greater, right? So again, just like sometimes that, like, yeah, we know what's right, and sometimes we can't do right because the situation calls for a little gray area. I remember, story time real quick, okay? I had a Senior Chief Lopez, okay? LSCS type. He was, I guess, my second LS chief or SK chief, right? We're SKs at the time still when I first met him, right? Bald dude from Venezuela. I don't know, from Venezuelan, no, right? That poppy, swag. And fucking dude, I remember he checked in. We're on USNS. I was a third class. And he checks in, and he's like, look, check it out, man. And this is a military detachment, so there's like 11 military. I think at most at one time we had like 15 on board. Okay, and he told me real clear. He was like, look, as SKs, okay, there's black and white in the Navy. There's black and white on everything. There's an instruction. There's black and white on everything. Black ink on white paper for everything. He said, but as SKs, sometimes we gotta set our coffee cup down, set our water down, right, and we gotta scrub that black and white, and we gotta make it gray. And we got to find the gray areas between all that black and white, because sometimes we got to operate in those gray areas. And that's always stuck with me, right? And that's not to say illegal. I'm not saying illegal, motherfuckers, okay? I'm not saying illegal. I'm saying the gray areas. It's not illegal. We're legal still. But if someone asked, they might be like, maybe that's a loophole. Is it legal? Is it a legal loophole? Because if it's a legal loophole, I'm for it. If it's illegal, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not touching it. I've been down those roads before, okay? I got away by the skin of my teeth through legal loopholes, and I learned my lesson, right? So But sometimes you find that gray area and you work that gray area, right? But make sure it's legal. I'm gonna say make sure it's fucking legal. But he was a great senior chief too, man. Like that dude, he taught me a lot there. I was fortunate enough to work with him a second time over at Log Suit 1 here on Coronado some years later, and just like he taught me a lot about the game, man. So shout out Carlos Lopez, man. I don't know where you at nowadays, but hope you're doing well out there. All right, so Chiefs are a combination of doing things right and doing the right things, okay? I got to look at that doing things right as like the work, do things the right way, and doing the right things as in like morals, right? Morally and ethically doing the right things, right? They know that the standard they walk past is the standard they accept. Absolutely, right? And it's hard because, again, how many times do I need to stop someone a day and use that energy to tell them to take their fucking headphones out of their fucking ears when they know they shouldn't be wearing it? A first class today on North Island, bebopping around, only had one in. All good. I said, hey, bro, you got to take those headphones out. You can't have those in uniform. He just looked at me. He just looked at me like this. He just looked at me and was like, and I was like, what's up, man? Like, is there a problem? He was just like, nah, I heard you, Chief. No, he didn't even say Chief. He just, nah, I heard you. I took it out. I was like, don't cop an attitude, bro. I'm trying to help you out. You ain't supposed to be doing it. You a first class. You should know better. Is there a problem? Nah, there's no problem, Chief. All right, then. Like, and like, that's the energy it takes. Like, why can't you just not do it? You're not supposed to be fucking doing it. So just don't fucking do it. But you want to look at me fucking crazy because you're wrong. And I'm just like, and I always approach everyone like, I'm not hey, shit, mate. No, I'm just like, bro. Hey, you can't have that shit in, bro. Come on. And they want to look at me crazy. Like I'm fucked up. Like, how dare you, fucking Chief? You fucking stupid. What do you know? I know you ain't supposed to have that shit in, so fucking take it out. And just so everyone's there and aware, I've done it to Chiefs too in the commissary. I don't give a fuck who you are. Take the fucking headphones out. Fucking dummies. I tell my sailors too, they better not ever get caught with that shit. Anyways, soapbox there. I fucking hate headphones in the fucking uniform. It's dumb. All right. And that just goes back to the standard they walk past is the standard they accept. So again, right? So what are we gonna do about that when we walk by and we look and we're like, that's all fucked up and wrong, and you keep going? Well, you had the moment to fucking stand there and say, hey, no, that's not how you do that. That's wrong. Oh, hey, let me help you. Wait, what? That's unsafe. Whatever it is, you could have done something and you didn't. Why? Too fucking busy? They take on a coaching role by having teaching moments on standards. There you go, right? There you go. It's hey, teaching moment. But like a lot of sailors now, they don't want to be taught shit. They don't want to be coached. They just want to be left the fuck alone. It's hard out there, man. It is. Because it takes a lot of energy. Right? They highlight and correct underperformance in a professional manner. Okay, cool. They know the little things matter because they prevent larger, more significant problems in the future. I know some people get hung up on this, thinking like the little, there's some Marine shit going on there right now where someone, I think Sergeant Major, command Sergeant Major, I guess, and their officer boss said some shit about uniforms and being ready for war and this and that. And it was a bad take, kind of, but like, little things do matter. Little things become big things, right? And if we're able to take care of all those little things, right? And little things don't take a lot of effort to take care of, right? They really don't. They really do not. We got a Maximum Effort Coffee Company. I might spill my coffee if I get the crazy eye. It's all downhill. What's up, Jace? That's Jace. Tune in to go check out that episode with Jace, the owner of Maximum Effort Coffee Company. I'm not drinking none right now, but I might drink some later because I plan on staying up. And me and Nikki might be out here again live when she gets home later tonight. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so like little things do add up, right? It's what, like, here, let me tell y'all something. Like real, this is gonna sound real dumb, right? And let me know in the chat if you think this is real dumb. You don't shine your boots twice a week. And I'm talking about blacking, right? I'm talking about put a little wax on it, okay? Put a little wax on it, all right? And just buff it up and keep it blackened. And you don't do that. So then those boots turn gray, the leather gets worn, right? And now, after let's just say 3 to 6 months, your boots look like complete shit. They're gray. The leather is fucking peeling off of it because you didn't just put like twice a week a little fucking black brush to it with a little bit of wax and the big brush to buff it up. That's it. I'm not talking about spit shine like in boot camp. I'm just talking about blacking, what the standard is. And now you're trying to supply that you need new boots. And now I'm telling you, not my fucking problem. Use your clothing allowance. Y'all not going to like that. And I'm okay with that. Because I'm still not giving you fucking boots because you didn't take care of your shit. Right? So you're going to say, well, fuck it. I'm not going to get new boots then. Okay, well, be a piece of shit. Look like, and I don't mean picture like you're a bad person. I'm just like, it looks trashy. I can't do that. Right? If I'm not trying to crease up my fucking J's, I'm not going to fucking walk around in boots that look like shit either. Right? I care about what's on my feet. I want them to look good no matter what's on my feet. If you don't care, I bet your fucking Air Force Ones are fucking, brown instead of white. I said it. All right. So yeah, little things do add up. They do. And you should do what it takes to, the little bit of effort that it usually takes to get rid of those little things to, before they become big things. Right. Yeah. There we go from Jace. It's a waste of money if you don't put polish on them. They will dry out. Yes. Like the wax is there to protect them, right? Keep them moist, keep them so they're flexible. It's water repellent. You don't do any of that. That's why you got shitty boots, right? It's just dumb, man. And it's one of those little things that does add up to $200 for some fucking boots, right? And no, don't nobody spend their fucking clothing allowance on uniforms. So save that money. Time out for a kid break. Man, kids always say, I want one thing, then bam, hit you with the want something else. All right, they ensure performance areas are owned and performance standards are understood by those responsible. Okay, again, like I don't got to, like I read this like once and I really glossed through it real quick, even faster than I am now, because I was just like, yeah, I had other things to do. It's been a real busy week as we get ready to deploy again, right? Or last 2 weeks, But yeah, like you're supposed to make your sailors feel like they have ownership over whatever it is, that maintenance item, that storeroom, that piece of gear, that P-way, right? It's as little and as insignificant as it sounds. That is your P-way. That's where you go for cleaning stations, right? That's yours. It's gonna be as good as you want it to be. Make it the best. Have the best P-way on the ship. I know. It sounds fucking crazy, but that's the ownership that we should be instilling, right? That's the ownership we should be instilling. What else do we have there? The own and performance standards are understood by those responsible. Okay. Let me get back over the screen share here. As individual chief petty officers. Yes, that one. You can eat some of that one. Okay. You're taking my cheeseburger from me. That big boy growing. As individual chief petty officers, we demonstrate the standards of technical and professional performance. We must be a good sailor and a leader in all areas. We actively teach, uphold, and enforce standards. In doing so, we are responsible as a mess to hold one another accountable. Again, he's been on that. And acknowledge and address shortfalls. Absolutely. This is how we build trust with our leaders, our sailors, and each other. Yeah. Again, not too much to complain about. It's kind of like this one is pretty spot on to me, in my opinion. Okay. I really like, I think you got to really pay attention to some of the things he's saying here. Okay. We must be a good sailor. Okay. He didn't say chief, right? He said sailor, and he capitalized the S as a, help me out with English, somebody. It's like your name, right? Just like the Marines, when they say that's a Marine, that's a capital M. That's a title, right? This is something that I've always done for a long time, 60% of the time now, is like and some people don't, right? Like even in old evals I've looked at it of my own, like before I was writing my own evals, like sailor was lowercase all the way across. And then at some point, like it should be uppercase. It is a title. You are a sailor, just like the Marines are Marines. Okay. So we must be a good sailor. So one, you need to find out what that means to yourself. Okay. So you could teach that to your sailors. But he doesn't say we must be a good chief. We're all sailors. And that's another question. Let me know, are officers sailors or is officers naval officers? I don't know. That's a question that I got asked to present a little piece on when I was a wee little seaman apprentice a long, long time ago, right? Are naval officers sailors or are they naval officers, right? We actively teach, uphold, enforce standards. Yeah. It's just kind of in conclusion. But when I read that one, right, and it sure up top it says as an individual chief petty officers, right? But like we must be a good sailor and leader in all areas, right? I kind of cling to that because I think we should have a better identification or identity as a sailor, right? I think some rates, shout out the bosun mates out there, right? Like do, but overall I think we're bad at that, right? Marines, they have a great identity as a Marine, right? They have that every Marine is a rifleman, right? And they have that spirit behind there, right? But like where are we with it, right? And we got Jay says none of those things are new concepts. What are you talking about, Jace? Which things are not new? Because I can believe you. I understand. I just want to make sure I understand exactly which ones you're calling out there. So yeah, that's that, right? Let's get out of here now, okay? And let's get to this other one here. But I'm not sure how this is gonna show up. I didn't op test this, but let's see. Because next we got the mission vision. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, let me see. Make that smaller. Let me go there. It's gonna be really hard for people to read. I think I could do that. Plus it up on that one. Oh, maybe down a little bit. All right. So, mission, vision, guiding principles. Right. Ownership and personal responsibility. Okay. Yes, those are not new concepts at all. You're absolutely right, Jace. Even if they're being sold by Jocko, they're not new concepts. They've been around for a long time. So you don't need a fucking, anyone special to fucking try to sell you on it like it's something new. Okay. I'm a hater. Fuck it. I don't care. All right. Mission, vision, guiding principles. So these came out a long time ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone. Joe Campa, right? Came out with these. And if I'm wrong, then tell me I'm a bad chief. All right. I'll get over it real quick. All right. Well, some people have been screaming at their fucking mirror of themselves saying that they need to be redone. Well, they got their wish. Okay. And here they are. And the mission, vision, guiding principle, the guiding principles, right? Because there's a mission, there's a vision, then there's these guiding principles that support the mission and vision, right? They are they are on a chief's eval. Okay. So this is what we should be graded on. So let's just read through this. And blue is what's new, and red in one line is what was old. All right. So let me read it. My bad. All right. So I'm just going to read it as it stands now, right? Again, red was old. Red is done. Is dead. Delivering combat credible naval forces by providing leadership to our naval warriors and advice and counsel to senior leaders, right? Chopped a big piece out of Navy leadership to create combat-ready naval forces, right? So kind of like flipped it, right? Did one the end became the beginning, right? Combat, I don't know, delivering combat credible. I don't know what that really means. What's the difference between combat credible and combat ready? Let me know. But again, advice and counsel to senior leaders, right? So again, I think that's an important part. That's an important distinguishment, right? Because before it said what? And invite, before it said leadership to the enlisted force and advice to Navy leadership to create. So I think what we're saying is like, we're not going to create it anymore. Like, it's created, it's here, and we need to advise on how to use it or something. I don't know. It's kind of a lot of reading. A senior enlisted, so this used to say a senior enlisted force that serves first. All right. And he got rid of that. He said, senior enlisted leader. Here's our vision. Senior enlisted leaders who develop naval warriors needed to build tough, resilient, and effective combat teams to fight and win. Cultivate a culture of excellence rooted in trust, respect, and transparency. Continually assess themselves, their teams, and teammates. Drive towards the best possible outcome while staying aligned to leadership and connected with sailors. Conduct themselves in a consistently professional, ethical, and traditional manner. We'll get to it, but kind of funny that he uses traditional manner here, right? Jay says, officers recite the Sailor's Creed. They do sometimes, but when? But when? When are officers really reciting the Sailor's Creed? Like, a real question, like, at the beginning of trainings, but how often are we doing a command training or something that an officer is there that they're also reciting Sailor's Creed? I don't know. Interesting point. But here, back to the vision, right? We got a big, massive change in the vision. Okay. A fair amount of red ink and a lot of new blue ink. Okay. Again, it's like senior enlisted leaders who develop naval warriors needed to build tough and resilient, effective combat teams to fight. Remember, like one of his what'd you call that? Can't think of the words. Priorities is war fighting, right? And and I've said it a lot lately. We're headed there. Like, if you're not ready for the 2027 war with China, what are you doing? Get fucking ready. Get your DC quals up. Learn something. Get in the gym. Lose a couple LBs. I'm going to do it this deployment. Come join me, right? But it is coming, right? And that's why, again, I think we're going to be there for a little while. And I think that's why it's been changed to that, okay? This other part where it says, continue to assess themselves, their teams, and teammates. Drive towards the best possible outcome while staying aligned to leadership. We're not supposed to be thinking we're in command. Fucking going like, no, we're going to do this or that. Like, that's not the way it works. It is, what does the captain want? How do I align myself, my department, my division, my sailors to that mission? And let's go fucking get it done. It's I don't know. It's different, right? I don't know. Hey, Manny, welcome to the show, Manny. Manny says he's talking about the Sailor's Creed needs to be a mandatory thing for officers every morning. Well, Manny, if it's mandatory for officers, it's mandatory for us. So think about if you want to do it every morning. Me, I don't really care. Some people do it every morning at quarters. I'm one of the people that don't, right? Bad chief. Okay. Cool. Slap me on the wrist for it. Good. Moving on. Again, not that it's wrong to do it every morning. It's just not my thing. Okay, just not my thing. So when you get down here to the guiding principles, again, this is for the junior sailors when you get an eval, okay, and you have your bottom blocks that you get your grades on there, 3.0, 2.0, that you're all worried about, like, oh, am I going to be EP and oh, my numbers aren't high enough, right? So this is what, let me bounce over there. This is what chiefs are getting graded on now, okay? Excuse me. Again, red is old stuff. Blue is new stuff. Okay, so we can see that we've changed. Deck plate leadership, gone. Gone. Completely gone. Deck plate leadership is gone. Okay. Big boom. Wowzers. Okay. Manny says he does not mind doing the Sailor's Creed every morning. Good, Manny. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. I've been doing it a lot longer than you. I'm a little tired of it, just to be serious. But also, I'm glad that you like to do it. I hope your department division does it and keep it up, because one day that shit's going to pay off when you're at that board and you fucking know it and you ain't hesitating to do it. All right. But again, hey, look, different strokes for different folks. All right. So deck plate leadership is gone. Okay, gone. Institutional and technical expertise is gone. Essentially, has been changed to technical mastery. Chiefs are and they got rid of the. Chiefs are technical experts, and I think, man, why did they get rid of the? To say that there could be other technical experts, but we are technical experts. What was that? Oh, hold on, I got a chief select. Hit me up. So we're there. We're technical experts. They got rid of field, and we say profession now. Which again, cool, right? Like I think maybe that's just aligning with like technical, like today talk, right? To call us professionals, but I think it's warranted, right? I think we should consider if we're gonna say professional everywhere else, then we should be in a profession, right? I always look at things I tell sailors like, you could get out and you could have a job. You could have a career, or you could have a profession. And in that order is how you get paid. So if you want to go out there and have a career, cool, have a career. You can have a 20-year career somewhere. It's going to pay you pretty good. Or you can have a profession, and it's going to be a lot longer, and it's going to pay you really fucking good, okay? So just going to throw that out there. I don't know what this dude's talking about now. All right. So the technical mastery. Well, so institutional and technical mastery got split up into two. Okay, technical mastery, profession use. Experts in their profession. Chiefs use technical knowledge and experience to produce well-trained enlisted and officer team. Chiefs apply their knowledge, skills, and abilities to meet any mission. Cool. Okay. Like, and this look like. I don't know. I've read this. I've gone through it. I can't remember if I had a problem with it or not. But I don't think I do, really. Okay. Let's just keep going, though. And now we've broken out institutional expertise away from the technical expertise. All right. What is he? I will call you in a little bit. Chiefs. All right. So institutional chiefs understand how their unit mission and the naval mission and the national military strategy. Chiefs recognize and engage at the point of friction to ensure mission success. All right. So I've mentioned this before, and this is the only problem I have with this one, right? Okay. Is the national strategy, I think, is just too big for me. Okay. Like, again, I'm more of a, I think locally. Like, globally, I could kind of understand a little bit. I could, but I'm not going to get into the weeds of that, right? I'm not going to sit up at quarters and try to tell my division all about the global strategy and this and that. If you want to know more, go to Ops Intel, okay? But that's just not me. Maybe you are. Maybe your rate needs more of it. Maybe mine doesn't. I don't know. Every lead how you want to lead, okay? But I'm not you're not selling me big on this. Know the national military strategy. I don't feel that is my role as a chief. I should be able to look at my divo, though, or my department head and be like, hey, what are we doing at that level to fight the ship? Especially if your department head or someone is a SWO. Because that's what they should be looking at. Because they're the ones that are in command or will be in command. Your commanding officer, your XO, they're the ones that should be pushing that to us to inform us. But I shouldn't have to like go and find it and seek it out, and it should be kind of like that's its own training for today, right? But again, I think that's a little out of our scope, a little out of our lane, and this is going back to before the competency beyond our duties. I think this is beyond the beyond part. Okay, that's just me. Let me know if you think it's different. Tell me if you want to chief that fucking can talk about political science and whatever the fuck else. I don't know. And geopolitical scenarios of country fucking rainbow color. Okay. Excuse me. And then we got professionalism. So professionalism is still here. It's be rewritten a lot. It now reads, chiefs understand and promote the attributes and behaviors that define profession of arms. Chiefs conduct is in direct alignment with the Navy core values. Chiefs actively teach, uphold, and enforce standards. That's about the only thing that remains the same from professionalism is Chiefs actively teach, uphold, and enforce standards. Everything else has been fucking cleared out. Chiefs measure themselves by the success of their sailors and are the role model of good order and discipline. And then that's it. So it got a lot shorter than what it was, right? Because it used to say like, so this is again contradictory in myself, or in some of the stuff he's been sending out, because he's always talking about the education and this and that or whatever. And professionalism used to say we will remain invested in the Navy through self-motivated military and academic education and training, and will provide like, so he got rid of that in what we're evaluated as, but he's been pumping this in the other letters. So to me, again, that's just something that doesn't fucking sit up that doesn't settle up very well. Something's not checking out there. So again, not that I'm against it. I like it better how it reads now than the way it did read before. Okay. But those other supporting documents that have been out there kind of don't match up in my view. And what is my view? It's just mine. Integrity. Chiefs abide by uncompromising code of integrity, take full responsibility for the actions, and keep their word. Chiefs set a positive tone, unify the mess, and build trust within the command to create esprit de corps. Right? So there we are. Integrity. So we changed character to integrity. I think that's a great change. Right? Integrity is often talked about a lot in the Chief season. If you're Chief Select out there, if you want to be a fucking chief one day, if you want to wear khakis one day, if you want to be any kind of leader, you have to have some integrity. And integrity starts now where you are at today. Okay? So and a lot of this didn't change. He changed mostly the title and added some things, but it remains the same. So if this remains the same more than anything else, that's how important this is. Right? We changed the character integrity to make it more in line with what we're talking about, but the definition there is fucking solid. Okay? And then the one thing they did add was build trust within the command. And that goes back to some of what he's talking about, competency, about the deck plate, the command, the Navy. Again, I'm for it. Okay? And then, here's the big one here. He gets rid of loyalty. He gets rid of active communication. He gets rid of sense of heritage. All gone, wiped out. Okay? They've been replaced with accountability, a new deck plate leadership, and team effectiveness. Now, I think some people might have a problem with getting rid of sense of heritage, because that is something as the keepers of heritage, if you've heard it before. Okay? Like, one, it was kind of one of those things like, how do you grade that on? What is that? What importance is that? Is it a trait that should be graded when we're talking about performance, right? Like work, professional performance of a chief? I don't know. I'm not sad by it. It doesn't change me, right? In talking with sailors about where ship mottos come from, the history of ships, the history of those people that those ships are named after, or battles that it doesn't change me, Josh. I'm still going to do that. Maybe it changes some other people because maybe they only talked about this stuff because they're like, oh, hold on. I got to go to training because I need to make sure I can bump up that 3.0 to a 4.0 in my sense of heritage block. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? So that shit's gone. Accountability is here. Chiefs are mission focused. Boom, period. I like it. Chiefs clearly define the problem and are accountable for the outcomes. Ooh, I like it, right? Chiefs continually assess with an unbiased learning mindset, provide solutions that are well-founded, thought out, and thoroughly considered. Chiefs provide forceful backup. That's a shipboard standard operating procedure there, right? And take prompt action to learn from mistakes. Again, how long are you going to take to fucking figure it out and to learn from it? 3 more times? Nope, unsat. Let's get it on fucking now. Chiefs know what right looks like and are their own toughest critic. Again, going back to that competency one, he pulls that in there, right? So that's something that's going to match up. Okay, I'm good with that, right? Chiefs hold themselves and their peers accountable. Okay, good. Like again, not too many fucking, what the fuck is he thinking? Like, okay, accountability, cool, right? It's something that we could be graded on. Something that the commanding officer can look at his chief's mess and be like, are they holding themselves accountable? Are they holding themselves accountable? Are they holding the department? Are they holding their officers accountable? Again, mission focused, I can't talk sometimes, clearly define the problem and are accountable for the outcomes. That's all on us, yo. It's fucked up. That's my fault. That's fucked up. I didn't train. I didn't provide it. I didn't do it. I'm wrong. We're going to go fix it now, right now. Because it talks about how long you're going to take to learn from your mistakes. You can give me the same fucked up brief over and over. Hey, Blake. What's up, Blake? Traits marks are the last things done once the commander sets RISCA. Blake, hey, good to hear from you, brother. Thanks for tuning in tonight and lending a comment. So what Blake is talking about, right, is on your eval, chief eval, fit rep, it doesn't matter, right? When you're getting your marks on there, it matters, but it really doesn't, because the CO is going to say, hey, I want my RISCA to be this. We'll get into RISCA some other time. Maybe someone will come and talk to you about it on here, because I'm not an expert. I can tell you what it stands for, right? Reporting senior cumulative average, okay? Of all the E6, E7, E8s that they've graded, they have an average of all those numbers added up. And he's going to say, I'm not going to go over 4. And then your number 1, 2, 3 best ones, they're going to be right at 4 or just maybe a little bit over. And then everyone else is going to fall out underneath that, right? And so they're going to move those numbers in those blocks accordingly to match and fit within that RISCA. Okay? That's how they're going to do it. So you could go in there and you could be like, boo-hoo, I should be a 5 in accountability. Yeah, but the fucking CO is not going to have a RISCA of 5. So guess what? You're a 3. Okay? Plain as day, right there. Boom. And that's why I never understood people get, especially chiefs, right? Because this is something we should not be fucking boo-hooing about, is you're fucking, just get the fucking work done. If you're going in there like, boo-hoo-hoo, then about the numbers on there, okay, then really check yourself. Ask yourself some real important questions about why you're ending up there, okay? Ask yourself that. Because, hey, if I'm at RISCA, I'm a P, I don't fucking care. I'm at RISCA. And if you haven't learned that by the time you're sitting here in these khakis, what are you doing here? Right? What are you doing? Okay? Let's keep moving. Deck plate leadership. So, again, deck plate leadership used to be at the top. He's shoved it down at the bottom. It's rewritten. Deck plate leadership. Chiefs are visible on the deck plate and set the tone for all sailors. Chiefs understand personnel, Chiefs understand personnel, programs, and policies, are proactive in understanding their sailors, and are always driving them to be better. Chiefs enable sailors to be both individual war fighters and credible combat teams. There's that credible combat teams. We take that from upstairs of the vision part. You tell me, what is a credible combat team? Not that it's just like, and I'm asking, like seriously asking, like, what does that mean? Why did MCPON word it like that? Right? I understand what credible means, but like, how does that fit in with a credible combat team? Like, I don't know. It's just something. It's just weird to me. That's all. It's just the wording there again. And look, 10th grade English. So maybe if you're a lot smarter, you could explain it to me and it could make sense. Okay. But like, I mean, like, again, deck plate visible on the deck plate. Set the tone for all sailors, not your sailors. And I mean, like your division, your department, but for all of them, right? Can you walk through the ship and one is respecting you, talking to you? Are you that approachable chief? If you're not, maybe help yourself out. Ask some questions about why not, right? Personnel programs and policies that, I think that's the only hardest one, because a lot of that, you can't commit everything to memorization, but that goes into like, go into your toolbox, right? Pull up the, My Navy HR, start not Googling. I just say not Googling as in, when I say Google, it's just a term now, right? It's just like, oh, Google that. Like, go to My Navy HR, right? That's where everything is. Set your homepage to that. That's where all the programs are. Start Googling through My Navy HR and fucking finding whatever they need. All right, so yeah, driving sailors to be better. Chief enable sailors to be both individual warfighters and credible combat teams. Yeah, okay. Because if you have it's one of those, like, you have a bunch of great individuals, right? But how are they together? Not good at all, right? So give me all the average sailors in a locker that can work together in that locker. I'll take those over a bunch of outstanding, like I'm Huya, I got all the best qualifications, but I can't lead fucking a fire team into a main space to fight to do an overhaul. I don't need you. I'll take the average dude and I'll train them up. Okay. And then we get into team effectiveness. I'm going to call that one the one that replaces sense of heritage, because sense of heritage used to be last and now team effectiveness is. So I'm just counting in order. All right. Here we go. Team effectiveness. Chiefs are proactive leaders who are invested in all sailors. Ooh. Chiefs understand the power of inclusion to promote connectedness, which expands competency and strengthens character. Chiefs cultivate seasoned teams who anticipate problems, overcome challenges, and deliver best outcomes. Again, I ain't got too many bad things to say about it. Okay. Like invested in all sailors. Like this is one of those ones. Junior sailors, listen up, Manny. If you're still here, let me know, man, because this is stuff that that you might not believe, or you might not hear till later, and much later, because you're a young buck right now, right, Manny? But if you're a chief or LPO going into a board, and your only goal is to get your sailor the nomination, you're absolutely wrong. You should be looking for the best sailor. And that best sailor doesn't need to come from your department, from your division, right? It's about the best sailor for the moment, right? And so many times we're only in there, I say we collectively, we're only in there looking for ours to be like, no, well, mine's got the best qualification ever on the ship, so they should win. The one qualification doesn't trump 3 months of continuous hard work, qualifications, like the whole picture here. It doesn't. Okay. Standing watch doesn't trump everyone else's fucking work for the 3 months just because they stood watch in a highly qualified. Well, the CO qualifies them to stand that. Okay, cool. That's all they did. Okay, so I'm like, I really like that he calls that out. Right? The MCPON changed it to that. Invested in all sailors. Are you? Or you just think you are? Right? Do all the sailors feel that you're invested in them? Go ask the sailors, man. They'll tell you real quick. Nah, fuck that. That dude's not invested in me. That girl's not invested in me. Right? It's all right there. They'll tell you. If they don't tell you straight up, if they kind of laugh or they sit there silent, guess what? They probably don't trust you that much. Chiefs understand the power of inclusion. That's the only thing I don't like about this. Okay, that's to me, that's a trigger word. Trigger word, inclusion, right? Because we're talking about like DEI and all that stuff is really hyped up, and it's got to be talked about. You got to put it in there, got to fit it somewhere, and this is where you fit it, right? I dislike inclusion here. I would have preferred the diversity part because I'm for diversity. Inclusion is like, oh no, hey, come here on the fire team because we don't have one like you or something. Like, what the fuck? It just doesn't make sense to me. That's just me, though. Okay? Navy, do what you do, Navy. I think diversity would have been a better word than inclusion. I think it's a trigger word to try to meet some fucking some scores out there or something. That's why I got my daughter right here looking at me. She's been creeping up all the way from the garage door to the kitchen, like inside to like all the way here to the table now on the other side of the camera. She's so cute. So that's the only thing I don't like about this one is that inclusion to promote connectedness. And again, it's like, when did inclusion replace diversity? Hey, Blake, thanks for stopping by, brother. Got to run, bro. Hit me up anytime. I was like knowledge on these. Thanks, Blake. Hey, man, means a lot coming from you, brother. It definitely does. Definitely means a lot coming from you. Thanks for being there, supporting while we were together and everything. And when we get back from deployment, man, I'd like to have you on the show. Maybe we could chop it up, have a little brewski, and you can stop by. All right. Let's get to wrapping this one up here, right? We were saying team effectiveness to promote connection, which expands competency. Yes. We just talked about the competency letter. Okay. And strengthens character, which goes back to integrity because we just updated that one, right? Chiefs cultivate. Hey, don't touch anything. Chiefs cultivate seasoned teams who anticipate problems. And that's the thing, right? If we're getting that, oh, I missed that one from you, Manny. I'm sorry, man. I missed that one from you. I know my CM2 is invested in me. He's been training me more as of late. Awesome. Manny, that's great. I like to hear that, brother. All right. Like, continue. Don't take on too much training at one time, right? But when he gets you that training, take it on and master that in the moment. All right. And then once you master that one, ask for the next piece. Hey, get out of here right now. You just bumped the camera, so you can't be in here now. Okay. So keep it up, Manny. All right. Proud of you, man. Keep it up. So when we teams, that's where I was at. Teams who anticipate problems. It cannot always be me. It cannot always be your chief or your divo seeing all the problems, right? As much as we would like to, it just shouldn't be, and it can't always be. We're going to miss something. So if I got a whole team that can see it, especially my LPO, especially your LPO out there, that's where they should be, right? We're all going to be so much better because as I'm running around crazy doing whatever I'm doing, I'm going to miss something. And if my LPO is on it or my E5 is on it, my work center soup, they're going to take care of it. They're not going to be like, oh, that's a problem. Let me stop. They're going to fix the problem and then let me know. And I'm going to say, what'd you do about it? And they're going to say, I did this and this. What's up? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. It's about bedtime. We're going to go up to bedtime. Go wait on the couch for me. Kids are ready. All right. Overcome challenge, deliver best outcomes. There it is. Right. That's what's going to happen when you get that. So again, MVGPs, not too bad. Changes aren't that bad, really, I think. I'm with it. I don't know. I like it. I like it. You let me know in the comments below. Do you like the changes to the MVGPs? If you don't, which ones don't you like? The biggest one, let me know if you like them or dislike the sense of heritage being taken away. How does that hit you in the heart? Don't forget, if you found this of any value, like, subscribe, share it with a friend. If it touched your heart, share it so it can touch somebody else's heart. Oh, where's my stuff? Oh, man. I got to get my outro, man. Where's my outro? Yo, someone give me an outro here. Oh, I don't even have an outro, I guess. What the fuck? Oh, well, y'all know the outro. I gotta hit my outro. Somebody help me out here. Let me go here. Oh, man. I don't even have an outro, guys. Ooh. What happened to my shit here, yo? Oh, there it is. I'm tripping. For more information on how you can support the podcast, please visit us at anchor.fm/Bravo Podcast. The information, views, and opinions expressed are solely of myself, Joshua Moore, and the individuals involved do not necessarily represent the DOD, DON, or those of the respected institutions or organizations. Thanks for joining us tonight. Everyone that stopped by, that left a thumbs up, leave a comment, let us know. I got one more maybe later tonight, depending on what time the old lady gets home. Maybe we'll record it, post it later. I'm out the door this week on deployment. We got another one wrapping up the year somewhere else. Don't forget. Nothing. That's it.